Lake Albert floods leave a grim legacy of death and destruction. An insight into women-led humanitarian response.
History has it that many times when the Lake Albert bursts its banks, it takes quite a long time for it again to go back. And again, we are aware that we are in a very precarious situation. We cannot be sure because of the changes in the climate. We don't know what will happen in the new year.
Miss Adong Helen is a local council representative for women and a resident of Butiaba landing site in Bullisa District. Before the flooding, she would walk through this Albert Street to her home. Since April 2020, she has been using a canoe, sometimes for meetings. Just like residents here, she is an eyewitness of displaced families, shattered livelihoods, starvation, escalating gender-based violence, health risks, and imminent attacks from crocodiles, hippos, and snakes.
Every day you have to put in money to and fro. And again, we have also another effect of gender-based violence. This water has brought a lot of violence cases in the community. Very many men has left their women. Women are suffering alone with their kids at home. You find the man will say, because there's nowhere to sleep, to say, I'm going to fit somewhere. And it's the woman to look for where to sleep with the kids. And you'll find very many women are sleeping outside, just under the tree. Others are sleeping in the church. Sanitation has become very poor because all the toilets have been submerged with water. So the real toilet now is this water. The rates of diarrhea in children mostly has increased because of poor water we are using. This is also a problem we are facing. Also, feeding has become a problem because the source of income has reduced.
In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, government's slow response further reveals residents may brace for harder times.
The central government, through the Minister of Prime Minister's office, has a comprehensive plan to see how they can reallocate the affected people so the patients pays.
The flooding in this area brings an experience typical of any emergence as it inappropriately affects women. ActionAid has trained 30 women in preparation to wage their own led response.
Program ya ActionAid anakuja kufundisha sisi sasa tunajua kitu gani tuko na kwenda kufanya.
I thank ActionAid for training and empowering us to manage the relief process. It is the men who have been at the forefront of relief distribution. The approach has changed because it is us who run the affairs of the home.
We are thanking ActionAid for enabling us and calling us upon for this training, where we are trained to participate in this program of giving out the support to flood-affected people.
This empowering activity is a transformative approach rebalancing rights and power for care and emotional rebuilding of their communities.
We would like to appreciate ActionAid for what it's doing for us as younger mothers, the power they are bringing into us to be on top or to lead the others. Like we are moving per household, we found that younger ladies are most affected people, and they are the people who are suffering mostly in this area because they actually have no business to do. They are just seated at home.
The women responders have decisive influence on all the items, guided by vulnerability mapping list.
As ActionAid Uganda, with our partners, we have been deliberately working with women leaders in this community to ensure that we get to the bottom of some of the challenges that they have experienced since the flooding happened.
You know, it is not easy amidst this kind of a situation where everyone wants to come for a relief aid to ensure that there is social distancing, but as ActionAid, we are ensuring that at least to give out masks to people to ensure that we also adhere to the SOPs that were given to us by the Minister of Health.
ActionAid reached a total of 1,230 households, 620 in Butiaba, 210 in Buliisa and 400 in Wanseko.
Nkusima kitongole kya ActionAid kwiza kuirukira nkatwebalema.
I've been sleeping on bare ground with my daughter. I thank ActionAid for the support and call upon any other well-wishers to help, especially the disabled.
Ndikusima bantu batuletera byakudya bebe batuletera na buyambi wense kuruga mu kitongole kisindikire bebentu tukusima turanako kangera.
The government promised to support us and also relocate us to safer places, but it has not reached some of us. We thank ActionAid for coming to our rescue.
Quite a good number are still here, but they are living in very deplorable conditions. If you walk through, you do realize that most of them are sleeping in water-logged houses. The night is difficult, you can imagine. For most cases, we've realized that it's the women and the children who have remained behind and struggling. The men are absent that will be emerging. Now, this is happening at a backdrop of the fact that the only health center here at Butiaba has been submerged in water. From as far as April, the water started to increase on the Lake Albert and started to burst the banks, and this displacement happened. And so we would have expected the government of Uganda, in fulfilling the right of these people to safety, to food, to non-food items, and also to relocation to maybe a better place, or to secure them, especially in the circumstances they are in, has not happened. But more importantly, the people here need a risk mapping exercise.
I'm worried, even this one is going to collapse. And very many women like me are also worried in that same way. They are affected. Since they are the one, we women, we are the one catering for these children. We are the one doing everything. I'm calling upon the government, if possible, let them help us to look for where to be transferred.
We have even changed the distribution method. The methodology has been disturbing us. The LOCs have not been reaching everybody. But here, with the trained women who in relief support, they are distributing the items very well, and accountability is going to be easy